Hello, everyone. Welcome to Developing Palates. I'm Aaron Loomis, coming to you from the Ventura Cigar Company studio. With me today is John McTavish. How you doing, John?
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to be here.
So tonight we are talking about the ACID Kuba Arte. This cigar is a torpedo. What was it, John? 5 and 13/16
5 and 13/16 by
by
54.
54. Comes out of the La Gran Fabrica Drew Estate Factory in Nicaragua. Wrapper is broadleaf Maduro. Binder is from Indonesia, and the filler is from Nicaragua. Price point is $11.90, and the cigar was released in July of 2019. So out of the way, John, what was your overall experience like?
Yeah, my overall experience was unfortunately not very good. The best that the cigar had to offer was in the first third, and I would say the flavors were kind of unbalanced and muddled. I felt like there was a blending strategy there because there was some cocoa, there was some botanicals and stuff, which were interesting, but none of the flavors had enough oomph on their own to kind of stand out, and ended up being this big muddled mess. And unfortunately for me, in the second and last third, the cigar was very, very bitter, and the last third was acrid and bitter. And quite frankly, I wanted to just kind of put it down because it was a very unpleasant smoking experience. So that was a bit of a disappointment for me. Burn was amazing, no issues at all. Very, very straight burn. And unusually, because I smoke a lot of DE stuff, I actually had a really, really tight draw. Like McDonald's milkshake tight, 3 to 4 notch tight. But the weird thing was, I'd puff and I feel like I wasn't getting anything, and I would get like an enormous amount of smoke production. So who knows? So overall, I would say this was a subpar experience for me, and I think this might be to date the lowest rated score that I've had for a review cigar. How was your experience?
Once I got past the immense sweetness from the wrapper, the cigar provided mostly a normal flavor profile. I got a kind of a cherry menthol component that definitely came from the infusion, but it was mainly like wood, mustiness, pepper, and baking spice. Those are all normal non-infused notes that I get from any other cigar. Construction was a bit of a struggle. Had a bit of a tight draw. I had some burn issues, so I'm pretty amazed that you had a perfect burn. So, I could definitely see this appealing to a lot of smokers, as the infused fans will, they'll get that kind of aroma from it, and it's not like it's too much of a in-your-face smoking experience that is for that non-infused smokers don't typically gravitate to. And people that are traditional smokers, other than the aroma, it's pretty much the standard smoking experience, I guess, would be the way I'd classify it.
Yeah, I actually had it in my notes that in the second third, I was kind of surprised because the aroma was quite pleasant. Like I was like, man, the aroma off this is like I wish it tasted like the aroma, because the aroma was like really interesting and had a lot of complexity and had all this stuff going on, but I wasn't getting that on the draw, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, I would smoke this again, and I'm in the mood for something like a little sweet kind of thing like that. But it's not going to be at the top of my list of cigars to go back to. It just you really have to be in the mood for this, or like this has to really be your cup of tea. I think I know a lot of people are trying to pin this cigar as, oh, non-infused cigar smokers will love this cigar. No, they're not going to love this cigar.
Yeah.
It's not a gateway cigar. Maybe the Acid 20 would be that cigar. The Kuba Arte is not a gateway cigar to get a non-infused smoker to smoke infused. That's not going to happen.
I've heard that sentiment a lot coming out of the show, and I don't really understand that. I think it's probably one of the more premium infused cigars they've made, given that it's got broadleaf wrapper and Indonesian binder. But I did not get the impression that this was kind of geared towards a non-traditional, traditional cigar smoker. Got reversed there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's get into the scores. Seth, who's on the review but wasn't able to join us, scored at the highest at 5.80. I gave it a 4.80, and John gave it a 4.23. So I'll go first at 4.80. Slightly below average flavor profile. Construction was so-so. So that's kind of what takes it below the 5 mark. It was just, it was fine to smoke. It would have been much better to smoke if I didn't have the burn issues. That's just a kind of a adds on to the detriment of the cigar, but otherwise it was a fine cigar. How about you at 4.23?
Yeah, 4.23 matches. Like I said, I think even if the first third had kind of carried through, The overall cigar experience would have been just below average. So that subpar bitterness, it really just made the smoking experience unpleasant for me. And I really wish that, like I said, that aroma that I was getting off in the second third had kind of come through as the flavor profile, because to me that was very, very interesting. But unfortunately, it just ended up being a subpar experience.
Yeah, one of the questions I was going to ask you, but it doesn't really apply now because you had a perfect burn, was I was going to ask if you noticed kind of how the cigar reacted on like touch ups or relights, because
Mm.
I had to do touch ups and a few relights on this. But like when you get like alcohol on something, or like maybe a perfume or something like that, and you light it on fire, you kind of get that like clear kind of
Yeah, the clear
flame
fire.
thing, and it
Yeah,
kind of like that's what I would get on the wrapper when I was doing that. So the botanicals or whatever's in there, it had a little bit of a whatever was going on. It had that kind of a thing, like the wrapper would like catch on the surface of the wrapper would catch on fire, but then it would just like kind of go out. So whatever was on the
interesting.
wrapper was had that kind of an effect. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, that is. I mean, yeah, and we didn't really touch on it, but the artwork and the water tower for this is a really cool experience. And I understand that, for the traditional cigar smokers out there, they're like acid, but people need to understand the non-traditional market is stupidly huge. And if
Yeah,
you ever walk into a B&M and stand there long enough, you will see how many non-traditional cigars fly off the shelves. Like, I
right.
was shocked the first time I saw people scooping handfuls. So yeah, I think this will probably resonate really well with the non-traditional people.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. If you're just catching this video on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to us. But also check out the full written review on the website, developingpalace.com. Follow us on social media channels, and you can catch all of our review recaps on podcasts, so iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Thank you for tuning in. We will catch you on the next one.
D for life.